strictly for the purposes of financial gain for those who have access to her estate, including Clive Davis.
Including Clive Davis.
Are you surprised by the evidence that's already coming out in the criminal trial?
No, I'm not surprised. I experienced some of those things. Witness violence.
Imagine this. The entire music industry is trembling under the weight of a scandal so massive, it threatens to rewrite the legacy of one of its most legendary icons. Sean "Diddy" Combs, the man who built an empire on style, dominance, and an untouchable aura, now finds himself cornered. His multi-million-dollar mansions in Los Angeles and Miami were raided in a dramatic federal operation that felt like something out of a Hollywood thriller. Homeland Security agents swarmed his properties, helicopters roared overhead, K-9 units tore through luxury vehicles, and boxes of evidence were carried out in plain sight. The allegations: explosive, human trafficking, coercion.
Piece of a lot of what happened during direct testimony were freak-offs. And what the prosecution tried to show was that he forced and or coerced her into doing these freak-offs. And we've talked about this earlier this week, that at least my opinion is that in a lot of these, the prosecution just didn't close the loop. It was something she felt.
And a secret. Life so dark, it sent shockwaves through the entire entertainment world. But here's where the story twists. What if Diddy isn't the real puppet master? What if the man we've long seen as the king of bad boy records was actually just a pawn in a much darker, more sinister game? As the lawsuits stack up and Diddy's empire starts to collapse, a chilling new theory is emerging, one that could shake the very foundation of the music industry. Enter Clive Davis, the legendary powerhouse producer whose name is synonymous with influence and control. For decades, he's been hailed as the man behind the curtain, the mastermind who created stars and shaped careers. But now, whispers of a darker double life are surfacing. Could Clive Davis, the revered architect of modern pop, actually be the hidden puppet master orchestrating Diddy's spectacular downfall? He needed her back. He needed her back under his control. Diddy's current situation is nothing short of catastrophic. The federal raids on his properties were unprecedented, with agents meticulously searching every corner of his opulent estates. His Miami mansion, complete with an underwater tunnel and lagoon-style pool, became the epicenter of this explosive drama. Boxes of evidence were hauled away, while rumors of secret rooms and hidden safes sent shockwaves through the headlines. This wasn't just about one man's alleged crimes. It was about tearing down an empire, brick by brick, dishonest, violent, and deceptive. A promiscuous swinger who lied and cheated on multiple partners. That's how Diddy's own lawyers described the billionaire mogul now facing serious trafficking charges in a New York courtroom. But amidst all this chaos, one unsettling question looms large. Who's really behind this takedown? Derek Parker, a former detective with the notorious hip-hop cops, dropped a bombshell in an exclusive interview. Someone powerful is hell-bent on destroying Diddy, armed with resources and connections to make it happen. Former allies have flipped, insiders are suing, and explosive testimonies keep surfacing at a dizzying pace. The narrative paints a picture of a man who built his power through coercion and intimidation, only to see it all unravel in spectacular fashion. But what if Diddy isn't the true villain here? What if he's just a piece in a much bigger, darker puzzle? That's where Clive Davis steps into the spotlight. His role in this saga is as mysterious as it is sinister. For years, Davis and Diddy were seen as an unstoppable duo. Davis, the talent scout with an ear for hits, took a young Sean Combs under his wing and helped launch Bad Boy Records, catapulting stars like Notorious B.I.G. and Mary J. Blige to fame. To the public, their relationship was strictly professional, a mentor guiding his protégé. But insiders whisper there was much more going on behind closed doors. In fact, just days before a shocking event, Clive and a key figure had a heated argument, with Bobby Christina reportedly present during some of the fallout. Even Suge Knight, the infamous Death Row co-founder, added fuel to the fire on his prison podcast, claiming that Clive Davis and Diddy weren't just business partners, but lovers. That explosive allegation sent shockwaves through the industry. While neither Davis nor Diddy have ever addressed the rumors, the implications are massive. Was their relationship consensual, or was there a darker power dynamic at play? And if Clive truly held sway over Diddy, how deep did that control run? Jaguar Wright, a former collaborator turned whistleblower, poured gasoline on the flames with her own bombshell claims. She alleges Clive didn't just mentor Diddy, he groomed him. According to Wright, Diddy was used as a pawn to recruit young artists, luring them into compromising situations for Davis's benefit. Wright also claims Davis kept a secret vault of blackmail-worthy footage on artists to maintain control and loyalty. Was Diddy ever really in charge, or just a puppet dancing to Clive's twisted tune? Was Diddy really in control, or just a marionette? Wright asks in a video that's gone viral, leaving everyone asking the same question. The implication is clear. Clive Davis didn't just create stars, he controlled them. As investigators dig deeper, chilling connections between Davis and the criminal activities surrounding Diddy's current allegations are starting to emerge. Sources close to the investigation suggest Davis played a major role in covering up Diddy's past scandals, shielding him from legal consequences while quietly gathering leverage over him. But now, as Diddy faces a storm of lawsuits and federal charges, Davis's true motives are being questioned. Is he deliberately throwing Diddy under the bus to protect his own dark secrets? And what exactly is he hiding? With zero formal training in music, did you ever imagine you'd have this kind of natural talent? "I never thought I had a musical ear," Davis once said. The timing of Clive Davis's sudden disappearance from the public eye couldn't be more suspicious as the allegations against Diddy reach a fever pitch. Davis has vanished into the shadows, retreating to an undisclosed location. Some say he's dodging legal heat, while others believe he's the mastermind orchestrating the whole scandal from behind the scenes. Insiders reveal Davis has long held connections in powerful places: law enforcement, media insiders, giving him the ability to manipulate narratives and control outcomes. But with investigators closing in, his days of operating in the dark may finally be numbered. Now, let's dive into the filth emerging in the early days of the Diddy trial. Of course, this is P. Diddy. We shouldn't be surprised. He's a creep. He's done terrible things. Yet we're left with a haunting question. Is Clive Davis the real architect of this entire scandal? Has he spent decades building a criminal empire hidden beneath the glossy surface of the music industry's premier power broker? As layers of this conspiracy begin to unravel, one thing is clear: this is just the beginning. The coming revelations won't just destroy Diddy, they could expose the dark, twisted underbelly of an industry built on power, secrecy, and manipulation. Stay tuned, because the truth is far more shocking than anyone could have imagined. But what if this story goes even deeper? As we pull back the curtain, the connections are darker and more tangled than anyone expected. At the eye of the storm lies a tragic link to two of music's most heartbreaking losses: Whitney Houston and her daughter, Bobby Christina. Their untimely deaths devastated the world, but new allegations suggest their endings may not have been random. Could Clive Davis, the man who propelled Whitney's career, have had a hand in their downfall? And if so, why? Let's rewind to the night of February 11th, 2012. Whitney Houston was scheduled to attend Clive Davis's annual pre-Grammy party, a tradition she'd followed for years. But instead, she was found unresponsive in her hotel bathtub just hours before the event. The eerie details don't stop there. Just 3 years later, Bobby Christina was discovered in a hauntingly similar state, underwater in her own home. Both women, celebrated for their beauty and talent, met tragic ends that mirrored each other so closely it left many wondering, was this mere coincidence or something far more sinister? Insiders referred to these events as Wild King Nights. On those nights, Davis and guests would gather in hotel rooms or private bedrooms for intimate, secretive parties. Preparations for these events included baby oil and Astroglide, a disturbing detail uncovered during investigations. Enter Jaguar. Wright, the outspoken artist who has made it her mission to expose the dark underbelly of the music industry. In a jaw-dropping video, Wright accused Clive Davis of more than just overseeing Whitney's career. She claims he manipulated and controlled every aspect of her life. According to Wright, Davis introduced Whitney to dangerous habits right at the peak of her fame. Jaguar Wright didn't just expose dangerous habits Whitney Houston struggled with later in life. She went further. Wright claims Clive Davis had a financial stake in keeping Whitney under his control, even suggesting that the tragic deaths of Whitney and her daughter, Bobby Christina, served Davis's own interests. They were sacrificed. Wright boldly stated, igniting shock and outrage among fans worldwide. Could this really be true? And if so, just how deep does this conspiracy run? For many, Diddy was once a figure to look up to, a mogul who built legends and launched superstars. I listened to all the artists he made, Wright recalled. Getting signed to him felt like I finally made it. But as the tangled story unfolds, Whitney and Bobby Christina's names are not the only ones connected to Clive Davis in this dark saga. Turning back to Diddy, the ties between him and Davis grow murkier by the day. Some insiders suggest that Diddy's recent legal storm isn't a coincidence. The theory? Diddy tried to break free from Davis's influence, and Davis responded, with devastating consequences. The price? Diddy's once untouchable reputation has been shattered. His closest allies are turning into informants, providing investigators with jaw-dropping details about what really happened behind the scenes. Former employees, associates, even one-time confidants paint a picture of a man ensnared in a web of control far beyond what anyone imagined. The burning question remains: was Diddy the mastermind behind the empire's alleged crimes, or merely the scapegoat? Since November 2023, when Diddy's former partner filed an explosive lawsuit accusing him of years of control, mistreatment, and coercion, the floodgates have opened. Men and women have stepped forward, revealing a disturbing pattern of abuse. A former videographer alleges repeated harassment, while another woman recounts a troubling encounter from the early 1990s. The volume of accusations makes it clear these are not isolated incidents, but part of a widespread, grim reality. Many victims stayed silent for years, afraid of Diddy's power within the industry, fearing what he could do to them professionally or personally. This long-hidden secret is now unraveling. Investigators also reveal ties between Diddy's alleged abuses and his sprawling business empire. Wealth and influence allegedly shielded him from consequences, with non-disclosure agreements, hush-money settlements, and legal threats used to silence victims. This strategy worked for decades, until now. The spotlight has exposed a fragile house of cards ready to collapse. Perhaps most shocking is the diversity of accusers, from former artists and employees to distant acquaintances, each telling similar stories of promises for career advancement followed by exploitation. The line between business and personal boundaries was dangerously blurred, leaving behind a trail of broken lives. Discussion has resurfaced around Diddy's infamous Puffy Flavor Camp, a 1990s retreat at his Scarsdale mansion. While promoted as a talent incubator, insiders describe it as a place where boundaries were crossed routinely. Old interviews reveal former attendees hinting at unsettling behavior, now seen in a darker light. Former employees also testify to their roles in maintaining Diddy's image, admitting they helped cover up questionable acts to protect his public persona. These revelations raise disturbing questions. How many were complicit? Was this a systematic operation with layers of silence, ensuring the truth stayed buried? Adding to the intrigue is the expected parade of celebrities linked to the case. Names previously unheard of, like Mike Myers, are reportedly on the witness list. Why is someone like Myers involved? That will be a key moment to watch. And then there are the many no-name accusers who will need every ounce of courage to testify. Among the most damning claims, Diddy allegedly employed a network of informants and enforcers to maintain control. These operatives handled everything from hush money payouts to intimidating potential whistleblowers. Some accusers report ongoing threats, a chilling reminder of how far Diddy's reach may have extended to keep his secrets safe. This has opened new scrutiny of his business dealings and raised questions about how many others in the industry were complicit. The legal fallout is massive, but the social impact may be even greater. Former collaborators and acquaintances are distancing themselves, fearing association. Artists he once launched remain silent, and insiders say his name has become toxic. The man who once wielded the power to make or break careers now faces isolation. His empire is crumbling under the weight of relentless allegations. One insider confessed, "I had a special connection with artists and music. I knew I had it with him." As these lawsuits move through the courts, one thing becomes crystal clear. This scandal's implications extend far beyond Diddy. It exposes a culture of silence and complicity that's plagued the music industry for decades. The allure of fame and fortune once shielded powerful men from accountability, but the tide is turning. Diddy's downfall might just be the opening act of a much bigger reckoning, and it doesn't stop there. Whispers have begun circulating about a secret vault controlled by Clive Davis, a hidden collection of compromising material amassed over decades. What secrets does it hold? How many lives does it touch? Rumors are swirling about a secret vault controlled by Clive Davis, an alleged treasure trove filled with recordings, videos, and documents that could potentially destroy the careers of some of the biggest stars in the music industry. Jaguar Wright has claimed this vault was Davis's ultimate weapon, a means to enforce loyalty and silence anyone who dared to cross him. Could this vault be the missing piece explaining how Diddy's empire crumbled so quickly? And if it really exists, will it ever see the light of day? One source shared a chilling encounter saying, "He cornered me. Then with his arm up, he asked, 'How you doing?' I was shocked, so uncomfortable. Then he rubbed his hand down my breast and said, 'If you need anything at all, you let me know.'" Just when you think this story couldn't get any darker, Clive Davis's sudden disappearance from the public eye only fans the flames. Right. As investigators zeroed in on his potential role in Diddy's downfall, Davis vanished. No public appearances, no statements, nothing. Did he flee to avoid legal trouble? Was he tipped off by someone inside? Or is he quietly plotting his next move from the shadows? The timing is too suspicious to ignore. But here's the twist nobody expected. This scandal might not just be about Diddy or Clive Davis alone. Some insiders believe it could expose a far bigger network of corruption running deep through the music industry. Powerful figures, quietly protecting their own secrets, may have been working alongside Davis behind the scenes. Could Davis be just one puppet master among many? And if so, how far does this rabbit hole go? As the music world stands on the edge of what could be its biggest reckoning ever, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will Diddy cut a deal with investigators to save himself, possibly dragging Clive Davis and others into the light? Or will the truth get buried beneath a mountain of wealth and influence, silenced forever? One thing's for sure, the fallout from this scandal will echo for years to come. We want to hear from you. What's your take on these explosive allegations? Could Clive Davis really be the mastermind behind Diddy's dramatic fall? And if these claims hold water, what does this mean for the future of the music industry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on this shocking saga. This story is far from over. Stay tuned.